I'm coming for you.
You seek the truth.
Novo.
If you wish to know all, show your allegiance, and all will be revealed.
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, wait, no, I don't barter with false gods.
Bow down to me, and all you desire shall be yours.
Let me in. Let me in!
Bow down to me!
Planet after planet. Earth after Earth, I've tracked you, Novo, and you think some paltry mind games and a little rock wall is gonna stop me. You've got another thing coming. I'm coming for you, and you can't stop me! For so many years, I've traveled across worlds, across the multiverse to do one thing, to kill you. And now here, you saved my life.
Submit and begin your life anew.
Show me.
The knowledge is within you.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Crisis on Infinite Earths video for that opening scene that they attached to the end of all the recent mid-season finales of the other shows. If you don't remember, they did the exact same thing last year right before the Elseworlds crossover with the Elseworlds Flash of Earth 90s scene that they attached to all the end of the episodes. There was a whole bunch of Easter eggs. I'll also cover stuff from the Flash mid-season finale in this too. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the Crisis on Infinite Earths videos. It starts this Sunday. That's right, Crisis is here. We'll do a Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your best theory about Crisis on the video. How is it going to end? But what's happening here is Team Flash is watching a wave of antimatter approaching their solar system, turning the skies red, just like it said in the future newspaper since Season 1. Then you have the more important scene of Nash Wells thinking that he's confronting the Monitor Mar-No-Vu that we've been seeing most of this season interact with the characters. We also saw him during last year's crossover too. There's a couple secrets that they're trying to slip past you in this scene. Some of you I've seen in the comments have picked up on what they're doing. The person speaking to Nash Wells is the same actor who plays the Monitor, but the actor is playing both the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor during the crossover at the same time, in the same way that Tom Cavanaugh plays multiple different characters within seasons of The Flash. Like, he's Reverse Flash, but he's also Nash Wells, two completely different characters that look kind of the same. So listen really carefully to this clip of the Monitor speaking to Oliver and the heroes during the Crisis trailer, and then listen to him yelling at Nash Wells in this clip.
The multiverse. Every existence multiplied by possibility and spread out in infinite measure. Now there is a malevolent force at work, one driven by a singular goal, the destruction of all there is.
I don't barter with false gods.
Bow down to me, and all you desire shall be yours.
Most of you probably noticed the differences in those two voices. It sounds like they're supposed to be different characters even though it's the same actor, just like Tom Cavanaugh, when he's performing Reverse Flash, speaks with a very different voice than when he's speaking as Nash Wells. There was a deleted scene from one of the previous crossovers where he actually does a scene with himself and it's Reverse Flash going up against Earth 2 Harrison Wells, and he just goes back and forth doubling the scene, but he does it with very distinct performances for each character so that you can tell who is who. Now think about what this actor who normally plays the Monitor is saying when he yells at Nash Wells. He's demanding that he bow down to him and worship him like a god. Has this version of the Monitor ever said anything remotely close to that? He's asked Oliver and the rest of them to help him save the multiverse, he's put big tasks on them, but at no point has he ever referred to himself as a god or demanded that anyone bow to him and worship the ground that he walks on. The person speaking to Nash Wells in this scene has a completely different personality, so early theory, Nash Wells here only thinks that he's been tracking the Monitor, Mar-Novu, this whole time, when in fact, he's actually been tracking the Anti-Monitor, who looks remarkably similar to the Monitor, at least right now. They have similar costumes, just some subtle differences in their facial hair and costume accents, but if you weren't looking closely or listening on good speakers, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between these two characters, and I think that's part of the point of this scene. Nash Wells is becoming Pariah from comic book Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is what his costume looks like in all the trailers after he becomes Pariah. Really what the Anti-Monitor is doing, or at least he implies he's doing, is revealing the grand truth of existence, the secret of life, or anti-life, in whatever case, in the multiverse to him. That gift is also meant to be Pariah's curse, just like comic book Pariah was cursed for his pursuit of ancient forbidden knowledge. Comic book Pariah was actually trying to peer back to the dawn of the universe to see the Big Bang, and that's what alerted the Anti-Monitor to the positive matter universe. So that's why he was cursed. He tipped off the event that began Crisis in the comics. The 7 symbols on the door here are the symbols representing the 7 different paragons that the good version of the Monitor is trying to collect to save the multiverse. It's unclear which symbol references which paragon, but it's also unclear how the Anti-Monitor is hijacking this place here. But the origin story of the DC TV version of the Anti-Monitor will probably be different than the comic book Anti-Monitor. Just think of this as Nash Wells dialing the cosmic phone to try and get the Monitor, and new phone who dis, the Anti-Monitor winds up picking up. Pariah's comic book power is that once he is cursed, he becomes immortal, and his penance is that he instantly gets teleported to each universe in the multiverse right before it gets wiped by the Anti-Monitor. He's forced to watch everyone die, then he gets portaled to the next epicenter, and so on and so forth across each of the universes when they get wiped. But this scene is meant to take place right at the beginning of Crisis. So talking about the Flash mid-season finale, there was a lot of other stuff that happened during that episode. There were a couple big Easter eggs and references. They captured Bloodwork and they put him in the same device that they put Chester P. Runk in to just sort of negate his powers and keep him contained. But he'll come back at some point later this season. They didn't completely get rid of him, they just put him in the deep freeze. The title of the episode was called The Last Temptation of Barry Allen, a reference to The Last Temptation of Christ. Cisco referenced the Babel protocols from Batman's Tower of Babel storyline in the Justice League comics, his protocols and plans for how to take out other members of the Justice League if they ever turned evil. So Cisco, back during Season 4, built one of those into the brand new version of the Flash suit at the time. The version that we see in this episode is just a giant force field around Star Labs to prevent Barry, when he turns evil, from misusing the particle accelerator, even though they end up using that in the episode to solve their problem. They name-dropped H.R. Wells from Season 3 at the end of the episode when they're remembering all the good times with Barry and all the crazy stuff they've done the last 6 seasons. They got a little overly sentimental, but they reference Flashpoint, the doppelgangers from Season 2 with Zoom and the Earth 2 people, time travel, being stuck in the Speed Force, and Iris having to go get him. It was them basically saying goodbye to Barry before Crisis happened because they all think that he's going to die. But I know a lot of you are still asking what's going on with the Velocity X or Velocity 10, the fake Godspeed army, Black Hole, the ultraviolet villain, and then maybe some other new villains that'll pop up at the second half of the season. We're still waiting on Reverse Flash to show up during Crisis, but he will be part of the crossover. The Velocity 10 is probably connected to what's going on with the Black Hole plot. That will all probably connect, and Black Hole will be one of the major villains of the back half of the season. In the comics, they're obsessed with studying the Speed Force and using it for their own personal gain. So that's why I think that Velocity X will have something to do with that, and they'll have something to do with the fake Godspeeds. But everyone, post your theories in the comments below. Remember, Crisis on Infinite Earths Episode 1 is on Sunday night, so of course I'll be doing Easter egg videos for all the episodes. Everyone, click here for that brand new Crisis on Infinite Earths trailer, and click here for that brand new Black Widow trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.